Welcome everybody. Y'all ready for this? The Hustle. My name is Steve Aramopoulos, and these are my co-hosts.
I'm Talia.
And I'm Tech Luciano. You may have heard me on radio, you may have never heard of me at all, but that's okay.
Y'all gon' learn today. Your whole life was a struggle, had to make it out the jungle. This is a show for you. Welcome to the hustle. Under pressure, never break a fold. Keep chasing your goals until you blow. Now, welcome to the hustle.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Hustle Podcast. And today we're joined by a very special guest. We got Prince Rara in the building, a.k.a. Know the Culture.
Oh,
That's
yes.
right. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me here. Oh my God, I can't believe I've never really been outside of like Montreal city. So it's like...
You're in the outskirts right now, eh?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the country.
I had the pleasure of meeting you at the Crosses event, 7 Mil Crosses event.
Yep.
Then I saw you at the other event that was you were co-hosting.
Yes.
Actually, it was your event and Honorable Records event.
Records, yes.
So I got to like see you there. You're doing your thing. You're always the guy with the microphone. You know what I mean? You're always the guy asking the questions.
Yeah.
Today we're reversing it. We're reversing it. And we're going to get to ask you some questions.
Thank God, thank God. Oh, big shout out to Honorable Records.
Shout out to them. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. First, what I wanted to know the culture, the way it's spelled, N-O-E.
Yes.
Does that have to do with your name by any chance?
No.
Okay, all right.
It's actually because I'm really... I can swear on here.
Yeah, can you say whatever the fuck you want, man?
All right, it's because I'm really shit at spelling.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm just a fast typer and I don't know how to spell. So I literally wrote it like that. And I was like, I'm going to fucking keep that shit. So I kept it like that.
All right. Me, when I first heard it, I thought, okay, that's before I heard the accent.
Okay.
At first, I thought it was a British accent.
Okay.
And I thought it was like Australian.
Okay.
So when I heard no, I'm like thinking Noel. But I'm like, there's no way this guy's named Noel. Santa Claus over here.
A Christmas special.
Yeah. Tell us about the accent. You're obviously not from Montreal originally, right?
Not from Montreal.
Okay.
From Canada.
Tell us a bit about your upbringing. Where are you from, man?
Yeah, originally South African. Both parents are South African.
Mm-hmm.
And they moved over to Australia, and I grew up in Australia.
Okay, so there, I got the Australia part right.
Yes. Everyone gets really confused with my accent because they're like, "Oh, are you?"
It's like a mix.
It's a mix, yeah. Because I know I say some things that are like South African, but I know I say some things that are really Australian, like fair dinkum Aussie. But so I even confuse the Aussies as well. And they are always like straight away. They're like, "No, you're not Australian. Like you got something else going on." And so I have to explain that. So I'm not even in Australia. I'm like, well, clearly I'm different. But I mean, like. I'm like different again. People are asking, where you come from? I'm like, bruh, is there anywhere where I can just be me?
You know what I hear though too? I hear that South Africans, like I've been watching some shows and they usually say brew.
Oh yeah.
Brew.
How's it, brew?
Brew. So if you ever would have said that to me, I would have been like, right away, this guy's South African.
Yeah.
I got it, you know.
Well, I mean, lucky I shedded that off me. I'm not saying how's it, brew? But yes, South Africans love saying how's it, brew?
Brew, okay.
Yeah.
So you went over to Australia. At what point in time was this? Like how old were you when?
Very, very, very young.
Very young.
I'm Aussie. I'm Aussie. Yeah. I'm pretty much fair dinkum Australian. Yeah. It's just that my traditionally, yes, we're very South African. I grew up with all my cousins, and everyone's, very strongly South African rooted, but I am Aussie. Like I pretty much know, I mean, I know a lot about my culture and where I come from, but I'm Australian. Yeah.
Okay, besides the being full in your heart, you're like, I've been raised in Australia, so that's what I know.
Yeah.
South Africa. You said you left really young. At what age was that?
2.
2. Okay, so you don't really have you been back since? Like
yeah, been back.
What's your experiences like in South Africa?
Ooh, South Africa. Let me tell you a little bit something about South Africa. Yo, South Africa is wild.
I hear Cape Town and stuff. You got to watch out, you know?
Cape Town's actually the better city. The other lot. South Africa is absolutely mental in all aspects of say culture wise, history as well. It's got a long history. I'm sure everyone knows Nelson Mandela,
Apartheid and
all that kind of stuff, and music. Oh my God, South African music. Everyone in Montreal's been playing like I'm a piano and all that kind of stuff. South African house music. That's South African. And all when they're yelling all the things that they're saying, or like Haibo and Icona, they're all saying South African. There's all South African words. There's all Zulu words. So a lot of that is all so you can imagine that how influential South Africa actually is in the world.
I didn't realize that South African music was permeating throughout culture right now. I didn't know that there's like South African house music, and for sure there's everywhere in the world they're making music. But I just didn't know that everybody in Montreal now there's certain artists they're listening to, and you know what I mean.
It.
I didn't know that.
I mean, like if you think say what's it? Occupy the Hood. And what's the other one that Occupy the Hood was like? It stemmed from Occupy the Hood, but it started with something else.
Occupy Wall Street. What was it? I don't know.
What's it called? And Pierre Quandas, he was a creator.
No idea, man. No idea.
Do you live in Montreal?
I live in Montreal, but I think the musical styles might be clashing over here. But I'm open. I'm all ears. I want to learn. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What is it? And Kate Renata,
Kate Renata, yeah, definitely. I know Kate Renata. Come on.
But they've also been a part of it. Like they are like mates with the same people that started the movement. Okay, I can remember Occupy the Hood, but it's another thing called. It's gonna kill me that I don't know what it is.
We'll come back to it. You're gonna be here for 5 minutes, just looking into the camera, waiting for it.
Well, we've only got like an hour of recording.
No, we're good.
Right?
Don't worry. We're good. We got time. Okay, so now South Africa. You're there. What are the experiences that you got to experience going back? Like good, positive, negative? Was there anything that like sticks out in your mind and you're like, obviously the scenery is beautiful and you get to see some historical stuff that it's culture for you, you know what I mean? It's your birthplace and everything like that. But was there any other situations that you got there and maybe you felt a certain way, somebody made you feel something, or was there any type of stuff like that?
Look, what I did feel going back was I felt a sense of sadness and also a sense of, damn, I'm fucking blessed.
Yeah.
That I had the opportunity to grow up in Australia. Yeah. Seeing how my family, like where they come from, and the family that are there. I'm still very close to the family that are there. I talk to them all the time. Like weekly, I chat to them. They are really they dealing with a lot of shit. Whether it's being financially, job instability, crime as well within their neighborhoods, and a lot of personal problems, and it's just like layered one thing on another, and it just doesn't stop. Which is the craziest thing. And I always ask them, I'm like, yo, how are you guys like surviving? How are you guys surviving? And they just like, hey man, this is South Africa, this is what we do, this is what it's about. You know what I mean? Because I mean, last year in 2021 there was an upheaval within the within politics, and it was the last president. He wanted to overthrow the current president, and he had his people absolutely terrorize the city of Durban, where both my parents come from. It's a coastal city, absolutely beautiful, tropical city, beautiful beach. They don't have winter. It's just like, it's like mountainous, absolutely mountainous everywhere. They had organized people to
do a coup, basically.
Exactly, and people went through and looting. They were looting everywhere. And it was fucking so sad. So many people lost their lives because it became like a race war between black South Africans, white South Africans, and Indian South Africans. And I'm a mixed race. Both my parents are mixed race, and we are called coloured in South Africa. So we, as usual, were just kind of like stuck in the middle. And it was actually really mental. The things that went on. I remember there was one post that had come out, and it said like South Africa in an uproar or whatever, and people had gone and cut the fence of a game reserve and let the animals free.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wow.
So there was videos of like people driving in the streets, and there was like hippos, fucking giraffes, and deer, or not impala.
Lions.
sorry.
I'm assuming lions are out there.
Lions were out eating people. It was just buck wild.
Crazy.
And like when I told like my family, I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on in South Africa?" And they're like, "Hey, this is South Africa, man. What you got to know? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's up, bro? You know?"
It seems like the slogan. It's South Africa.
It's South Africa, yeah, exactly. What? So if they're dealing with that, animals running around the street, I mean, what else?
Like that right there sounds like a crazy situation.
Of course.
Like you said, you were blessed to grow up somewhere else, more financially stable, more secure. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about certain things. And then you go back to the roots and you see how, third world countries in places that they don't have all the stuff that we take for granted, and how they're struggling with making financial ends meet. They're scared that they're going to get robbed in the streets. There's the numbers gang. I heard about these guys, you know what I mean?
God, yes.
So I heard about all these. And the thing is, when you like learn about South Africa through, depending what sources, it's not the nicest stuff you hear about it. You know what I mean? Besides that, I know Elon Musk. I know the guy that killed his wife, Pretorius or something.
Oh yes.
So that's like the only stuff we know. And I've seen a few videos like travel vloggers in South Africa, like you said, in Durban, showing off the beauty of it. But that's just recently.
Yeah.
Everything before was always like, don't go to South Africa. So the fact that you get to visit and you get to see the true essence of what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get to see the good, the bad, the ugly, everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's sad that the bad trumps a lot of it. And that was one of the first few things that I could see. I was like, ooh, I loving to see that some of my family are thriving. But the scariest part was seeing how they're still living. There's a neighborhood called Wentworth. Shout out to Wentworth, where my mum is from, and it's only some parts of it, like say a 10-minute walk to the beach. So and there's like rolling hills in this area. It's kind of like a valley, and there's like the hills that just surround it just before it gets to the beach. So in another country, that would be an ideal situation, and it would be very expensive, like to have a home there. But in this case, it was segregated for the colored community, mixed race community, and it's I can't even say the ghetto. It's squalor. It's a slum pretty much. At the stage that it is right now, there's gang warfare, there's drugs, abuse of all kinds. You see it on the streets when you're walking. It's dangerous, but it's still home to a lot of people. It's still home to a lot of my family. It's still home even for my mum too. That she represented. She loves it. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Once you're ingrained in it, you know what I mean? And you have a soft spot for, regardless of what it is home.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's what you know. It's the same way like when you've been eating something as a kid all your life. You've been eating it since birth, basically, since you were able to put it in your mouth. And then after you you have somebody try it for the first time. You know, when you're 30 years old, you're like, oh, you really got to try this. It's amazing. And then after they try it, they're like, it's nothing special. You know what I mean? But the only reason for you, it's because of that nostalgic feeling.
Yeah.
And it's bringing you back to a certain place, a certain time. And when you're talking about countries and your birthplace, it brings you back to the beginning. You know what I mean? So I can imagine why your mom would, till this day, still big up Wentworth and everything like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's part of her.
Yeah.
It's part of her upbringing.
Oh, for sure.
How was it, like, when you went back? Did you see any remnants of this segregation? Because I know when you left, you didn't get to see all that stuff going down.
Yeah.
But how is it now? Is it like, are they still segregated, or are they still basically treating people incorrectly?
Well, it exists in terms of how people still live, and I think the mentality of the population who were raised in that era.
Okay.
I think for the younger generation, I think they more, they moving along and, they don't understand it as much. But for my parents' generation, they still, like, the mentality, they're still stuck in that.
Of course, yeah.
But in terms of, like, neighborhoods, you still will find the neighborhoods that were designated for the different races. So it was white and Japanese being because they were businessmen. So they could move around wherever. White people could move around wherever they wanted to move. But for after that was Indian South Africans, and they were brought over as indentured slaves. But they still had privilege over black and coloured South Africans. And then after Indian South Africans, there were coloured South Africans and then black South Africans.
So the black were all the way at the bottom of the...
Yeah.
How is that possible, though, in Africa? That's what I don't know how this happened. This is like colonialism at its finest, and it's still to this day that... I've seen some things recently, like on YouTube, and that there is sort of like now the black people are taking it back a bit, you know what I mean? It's like they're getting the better jobs, and I don't know if that's true everywhere in South Africa, but I know there is a bit of a shift when it comes to, like, I saw they basically went to a trailer park and they were talking to all these white people that live in a trailer park now.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, the black people took everything from us. I'm like, dude, you came to their country and you took everything from them.
Exactly.
So that's what's really messed up.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, just recently, I think when they had that whole there was a whole farmers situation where black South Africans were going to the farms and reclaiming the
It's my
land.
farm now.
Yeah. And so the white South Africans were pleading with Australia, because there's a lot of South Africans in Australia. They were pleading with Australia and asking the Australian government to give them refugee status so then they can come to Australia. Yeah. Thank the Lord that didn't happen, because I can count a billion other countries that deserve to have a refugee status and for action to take place. Because even though there's a lot of countries that have got refugee status, like Afghanistan and some of these other Middle Eastern countries, Somalia as well, a lot of them find it so difficult to come to Australia. And there's like places like called Nauru. It's like an island off Australia where they sift through the people and they make them wait, and some of the conditions.
Oh yeah, that's like the whole. It's basically their whoever's trying to come immigrate illegally. They just put them on that island. In terrible conditions.
And make them wait.
Yeah, and they make them wait forever. Like some people, I think one guy saw a thing, he was there for like 7 years or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's crazy shit.
Birthing and raising children in that facility. So it's kind of wild. And for South Africa, I can't remember what the term is, but yes, the tables have flipped or turned or whatever, and there are black South Africans in power, and I know from speaking to people on the ground, like them being family members, they do feel a sense of how come we are left out yet again.
Okay. Yeah.
And that is the question of why is it like a reverse apartheid? Because that's kind of what we want to not enforce again.
I think that's a great way to describe it. Reverse apartheid, but also let's not jump too ahead. You know what I mean? Just the fact that we have to say that Black Africans suffered terribly.
1,000%.
So whatever's happening now, okay, it's still it's a reverse issue, but it's not right too the way it is playing out.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't think anything can be right in these situations. It's like a gray zone. You don't know what's what, you know?
For sure. And let me also tell you, I am a Black South African, even though I am mixed race, but mixed race by government official in that era had coined the name colored. So I shouldn't actually, to be honest, I really shouldn't even be using that. It is because this is what we were called in
Programmed
South
at
Africa.
that point. You've been
We're programmed to
think that way.
to believe it. Yeah, and that a white man coined the term colored South African. Before that, I don't know what the name was.
I think South African alone is just good enough.
South African, yeah, exactly. I mean, and the thing is like for me, I've got cousins who are very dark skinned, and I got cousins who are very light skinned. And if you come into like say like in the North American sort of thing, like you know like a one drop rule, all that kind of stuff like that, they black. And to a white person, we're black. You know, I mean, a lot of people think like I'm Latino or something like that. I'm like, no, babes, I'm black. And so it's those types of things that you just, it's a little bit frustrating. But I didn't even know if that was part of the question. But anyway, I just
no, you're right. The fact that people can just judge based upon your looks. You know what I mean? When I first saw you, I thought you were Arab.
Yeah.
This guy's Arab, you know what I mean? So I thought the Arab. Now I'm seeing it. Yeah, I can see maybe a little bit of a Latino, you know what I mean? Maybe like Puerto Rican, something like that. So I see a bit of what everybody's saying.
Yeah.
And I forgot what I'm going a little off topic right now.
I did that, sorry.
Yeah. So
You're like, yeah, it's you.
like going back to what we were saying about South Africa and this whole of reverse apartheid and everything. I think what we wanted to end it on was, how do you feel right now with the current state of things? Is it at the point that you think, since we're in the 21st century right now, and you have our generation, basically, it's our generation, it's becoming the main population all over the world, right? All the baby boomers are on their way out.
Yeah.
So I think all that, when that happens with that mentality, you know, you have ex-Nazis and you have all these people that live through so much shit and so much racism.
Yep.
I think now that we're becoming a big mixed melting pot.
Of course.
And once you get to that point, I think racism should definitely get thrown out the window, because you can't be racist against, if you're going to be racist against anybody, you're going to be racist against everybody at that point, you know?
Yeah. Look, I hope for the younger generation of South Africa that they have a more open mind to those types of things, and they don't carry on that racial burden that our parents had carried. And I think what does help is social media.
Yeah.
And I feel like South Africa and Africa in general are very connected with the world right now through TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. So I feel that they are changing in their thoughts. And I think it's for the better. And I think in the future, for the younger generation of South Africa, I think that they are moving in a better direction. Yeah.
So there's hope, and let's just wait and see what happens. You know what I mean? Just live life. Things are going to play out the way they play out. We don't have control over global issues.
No, unfortunately.
So, unfortunately, not.
Yeah.
So back to Australia.
Okay.
Now you're in Australia. Was this when you first started getting into the whole going behind the scenes, getting into the music culture? And when did that first start happening?
Okay. I've always wanted to get into media. That's always been my thing. I've always wanted to do VJing. I've always
You have the VJ voice. I swear, it reminds me of Music Plus, Much Music back in the day. MTV.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's the accent too. I gotta say, it's the accent. Bro.
Thank you. What about the face?
The face, you got it, dude. You're there. You're in.
My God, today. I've always wanted to get into doing media, but the thing is for me, I felt coming from the city where I came from was called Perth. It's on the far west side of Australia. It's probably actually the same size as maybe the same amount of people. No, I think maybe Montreal might have a few more thousand people, but it's a small city, but it's very spread out. But it's very isolated, and the closest capital city to Perth is a city called Adelaide, which is, I think it's 2,000 kilometers away.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can imagine how really isolated Australia is. And Perth. Yeah. So for me, I felt coming from that city, I felt like I don't know where I'm going to find that opportunity, and I don't even know how to be that person in such a small town where people are embarrassed to be different.
Yeah, they want to conform. They want to be part of the mold.
Exactly.
You're doing different things. And most people, they're like, oh, I can't do it. It's such a small place. Everybody knows me. They're going to make fun of me and shit like that. You're like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
yes. Yeah. They'll shit on your dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I didn't really believe in myself. I was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get there. So I was like, maybe one day I'm going to have to move to Sydney and like the big city, the big smoke, and see if my dreams are possible there. But I started out doing I was a cameraman on a breakfast TV show.
Okay.
And I did that for a couple years. And I remember seeing the producer, and I was like, hey, this was in 2007.
Okay.
So it was a long time. And I said to the producer, I was like, yo, I really want to go in front of camera. And she was like, oh, okay. So like, what would you want to do? And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I just want to talk. I don't know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to be in front of the fucking camera. Get me the fucking camera. Yeah. But I think I wasn't ready at that stage. And so obviously my opportunity didn't come through. I ended up stopping working at that station. It was just a volunteer situation. And I went to study, but I didn't study in anything in media. I mean, I did graphic design.
Okay, it's still a good tool to have in your
still okay, yeah. And then oh, wait, no. I'm forgetting that I've done a whole bunch of auditions. I did a whole bunch of auditions for like MTV as a VJ of MTV, yeah, and also an audition on I think it's called Fat versus Skinny. Okay. It's a British it's a British franchise, and it's about the food habits of different size people. Yeah. So there was like say like a more heavier person.
Yeah.
They would walk through what they eat each day, and then a skinny person see what they eat each day, and at the end of the day they would tally up the calories of the person. But I know on that particular show they had like a big like tube, and they throw the food that the people had eat, like say the equivalent, and the person would list out, okay, I ate a cake at 11 a.m. or I ate like a McDonald's on I don't know 11 p.m. on a Monday or whatever, and then they would actually go out and buy that food, and then they would put it in a big tub, and they'd be like, look, this is what you put in your body in 1 week. The fuck? They got money to do that kind of shit. All these my poor cousins in Africa starving, then you got big tubes like that full of... I would have, if I was on that show, if I made it through that show, I would have jumped in that tube and started eating all over again.
Too, but I'm like picturing it now. I'm seeing a bunch of mashed up food all together. It looks like slop and everything.
Yeah, it was the biggest, sloppiest thing ever. It's disgusting. God. Yeah, I made it to the first round where they the guy flew out. One of the producers flew out to interview me. I say all of that to say that I've almost been able to do it, but it's never quite happened.
Okay.
I've never had my moment.
That was all in Australia, though.
This is all in Australia.
Okay, so Australia, this all happened. How did you end up here?
Because I didn't make it in Australia. I hadn't had my moment in Australia. So in fact, in Australia, I had a house. I bought a house. I was asked to be part of an opportunity for a major TV channel in Australia, but to work behind the scenes and to work in the newsroom. At that stage, I couldn't take it because I had a mortgage, and they wanted me to do like a internship.
Okay.
And I had to be on call whenever possible. Like 11 a.m., please come on down to the news station. Blah blah blah. 12 p.m., come through. Like, you know, whatever they wanted. But at that stage, I couldn't. I had a mortgage. I was the only one servicing the mortgage, so I had to drop the opportunity. And that was always something that was in my mind. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how come I'm almost there, but I'm not quite there. And it's just like, I thought, okay, if I can't do it in Australia, I'm going to have to try somewhere else because I just don't know what else to do. Plus also being the fact that I've always wanted that American dream. I've always had that something drawing me into the American thing, like, oh, American media, I need it. I need it. It wants me. I want it. Like, that was always in my mind. And so that is why I had come to Canada, because it was easier for me to come to Canada than going to the US. So I was like, I'm gonna chase my dreams in America's cousin called Canada.
It's the North Pole, man.
The North Pole. Okay, I'm in the North Pole. Shit.
So yeah, when did you come here though? Because you said 2007. That's when you were doing all these auditions. You got here when?
I got here in 2018.
2018. So that's 11 years after, dude. What the hell are you doing for 11 years?
Yeah. Trying to chase my dreams.
Okay, so we did auditions and everything. Look, I think maybe because it's tough to break in, like be the face in front of the camera. You know what I mean?
Of course.
You got to make the connections too. You got to like brown nose with people, like just like you said, do internships until finally they're gonna give you a break. They're gonna be like, okay, now is their time. Yeah. But I also think that when you do ask for the opportunity, by asking for it, they're like, this guy's not gonna get it. We're not giving it to him. You know what I mean? Exactly. They just want to stump you right there.
Yeah.
And you got here 2018. It's been roughly 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you came full steam, and then the pandemic fucking steamrolled that down.
Oh, yeah. For real. Yeah.
Let's hear about those first couple of years here.
Okay.
And then what happened, like, as soon as the pandemic came in full force.
For sure. Look, I still came in that mind frame of I am going to try and make it somehow, but I didn't know how. And I still had the mentality of like I just don't know when this is going to occur for me. I just didn't know what else to do. So I just ended up working at, do you know MindGeek?
What?
MindGeek.
MindGeek.
Yeah.
I've heard of it, but is that like right now? I'm thinking Geek Squad. I'm getting the logo for Geek Squad. It's not that.
Okay, no.
What's MindGeek?
Okay, MindGeek are the owners of Pornhub.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So I got into porn. Yeah, started doing a whole bunch of porno movies. No, I
editing porno movies. I'm assuming.
No, I actually did the merch. I managed a merch store.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, and then I got into writing the captions for like the little adverts. Yeah, saying like, "Oh, fuck me," and all that kind of shit. I got into doing that. Yeah, so that's another story. But anyway, that messed up my dreams. I ended up doing that for the first 2 years of being 2 years of being in Montreal. And I was like, still aching, like, I don't know how I'm going to get into media. I don't know what to do. Like, maybe I go into the satellite office of Pornhub and then try, I don't know, maybe someone will discover me there or something like that. The satellite office is in Los Angeles. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm going to go there and, figure something out. You know what I mean? But it never quite happened. And I think it was in the early 2000, late 2019, there was a huge thing that had happened with Pornhub.
Yeah, I heard. I'm not sure if we're talking about the same underage porno being posted on it or something. Yeah. That's the one.
That's the one, yeah. So that kind of happened. And my job was directly, affected.
Okay.
Directly affected with that. Because I was, as I was saying before, I was in the e-commerce. And I was dealing with a lot of the payment gateways.
Yeah.
And if no one can use, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say all this kind of stuff, but
it's up to you.
It can just be cut out, right?
Yeah.
What are they going to sue me? I got no money.
Yeah, we can cut it out. There's a trim button on YouTube.
Visa and MasterCard had. This is actually in the paper anyway. So,
okay, it's true. It's public record. If it's public record, I don't think we have anything to fear.
Yeah.
That's it. And at the end of the day, payments, we already know major payment companies are going to be Visa, MasterCard.
Yeah. I mean, is there like a allegedly card that I can...
Yeah, allegedly. Just keep saying allegedly. So allegedly.
So Visa and MasterCard had pulled back from Pornhub and all its other like sister companies, but like all the other different things like Brazzers and blah, blah, blah. And it directly affected me because no one would be able to pay if they can't use Visa or MasterCard. Like, how are people going to pay? You know what I mean? So I didn't have a job. And within a month or so, I got sacked. So I was like, okay, this is just before the pandemic. So I was like, what the hell am I going to get into?
Thank God the pandemic came and started giving you some money, bro.
Yeah. But you know what? For me, the pandemic actually wasn't so bad. The pandemic was not so bad.
If you had just lost a job from right around that time and now there's like, okay, you're going to get $1,000 every 2 weeks. I think you relaxed a bit.
Yeah.
You were able to breathe a little easier, what I mean? In that stressful period.
For sure.
So at least that.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. Look, I ended up, because I didn't know what else I could do, as I was saying before. I said it a million times. I wasn't sure what I could do, but I got an opportunity in radio with CJLO. I literally came across one of their posts and I was like, they were looking for like a radio host and I was like, huh? I was like, okay, what the fuck? Okay, let me try this. And I contacted them and they're like, yo, yeah, come on down. Like,
you heard the voice. They heard the voice. Come on in.
Yeah, come on down.
In Australia, they're like, okay, everybody's got this voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not special.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I started with CJLO. And that's literally how it kicked off. I started getting people, like interviewing artists. And from there, it gave me the confidence that I never had before. It was allowing me to touch into all different types of creative depths, like doing posts, doing, like even speaking to people too. Is I've got to find a way how to do that, and even expressing myself as well, clearly. So it was a really great platform for me to become like the beginning stages of who I am today.
So yeah, you started that. You started the CJLO, you said. By interviewing artists, you got to get more comfortable behind the mic.
Yeah.
You got it's becoming more and more routine.
Yeah.
And after it starts becoming second nature, you know what I mean?
Cool.
It's like, that's all I do all the time. I have conversations. I talk to people. I go up to them with the microphone. I'm I'm not gonna say you remind me of Nardwar because you look like Nardwar or anything, but it's like I can see like you have a character about you.
Okay.
That if I do see you on screen and you pop up with that microphone, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'll watch this guy. Why? Because there's something. There's a little bit of star power there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So maybe you haven't discovered it yet. Maybe we haven't polished that diamond. But when we polish that diamond, trust me, you're gonna be everywhere. And the reason why you're here, you just what's it called? You won. #1 radio host, I think.
Okay.
I forgot which one it was. Podcast, radio host.
Radio host.
Radio host. There you
Yes.
go.
I won in 2021. I won best radio show. Number 1.
And what was that radio show?
Know the Culture.
No, still there. Yeah, same
Still
thing.
there.
There
Yeah,
you go.
Know the Culture. And second best radio host. And then in 2022, I won best radio show in Montreal. And then #1 best radio host. Yeah,
Nice.
in Montreal.
Dope, man. Very dope.
Yeah.
What do we normally talk about on the show?
You know, it started, I mean, as we were talking about, like, you know, this whole South African thing, a little bit of racism and all that kind of stuff we were touching very lightly. It started from that. It started from me speaking about how I kind of felt about being like who I am as a mixed race Black South African, and where I fit in the world, and also the type of music I listen to, and also what my culture listens to as well.
Yeah.
So I played a lot of that type of music, and I spoke about those types of things. My very first episode was about this family, this white family who had got their was it DNA ancestry results or something? Yeah, they got that, and the little girl, she had done hers, and she pointed out, like, you know, to her family, because they had like a little home video thing, and she pointed out to her family, she's like, "Oh my God, I've got 1% African." And then the mum and dad were like, "Oh, we always knew it. We knew it." And then the dad's like, "Oh, my girl, I know you're African." And I was like, "Huh? What you mean? What you mean you African? Please, from that 1%, your calculations are off." Clearly, they didn't go to school because I mean, come on, and that really like irritated me. So that was one of the first things.
And there is a 1% error of margin, I think, right? Or it's 99%. I don't know what it is, but at the end of the day, that 1% could be totally phony.
It was wrong.
That's wrong. Okay, yeah, go on. You were saying you're talking about the first episode.
Yeah. So I thought that was like my, but first episode. I spoke about that, and it kind of evolved because I kind of got involved with, shout out to Hydrophonic Records, and bigger shout out to Honor Roll Records. They've been amazing. I got in touch with these guys. They had reached out and said, "Oh, we've seen your stuff, and we just want to know a little bit more about you, and we want to see if maybe we can get our artists to do an interview. You guys can do a little something, like do a little promotion, like here and there. You know what I mean?" So that actually then helped me a lot.
So that was the gateway to the artist?
It was the gateway to it, yeah. And that gave me the skill of now going to interview people, because I was just starting with myself, talking about this girl with a 1% African.
Yeah.
And that allowed me to hone into a new skill and meet a whole bunch of new people. And my partnership with Know the Culture's partnership with Honor Roll Record had bloomed, because I had then started interviewing people that weren't a part of Honor Roll Records, and people that, we kind of met along the way, or had seen, or even had heard about it. Also Make Way Studios as well. People had come in, they also heard about it, and they're like, "Oh, what's up? Like, can we do an interview?" The first guy that I actually had done a video interview with was Swizzy. So, shout out to Swizzy. And that was new to me too, and that was only like very recent as well, last year sometime. So it's been a like a fucking that same tornado that was heading out here to Montreal. It stopped because the culture was here, So it's different, it's weird, but I'm loving the journey.
Excellent. I think loving the journey is the most important thing. You know what I mean? just having fun with it. And as time goes by, like I said, it becomes second nature, and it just becomes a part of you. You know what I mean? Touching boots with the streets,
Of course.
going to events, getting to interview artists, also being personable. The fact that you're opening up and you're talking about these stories about the South Africa, and you're talking about that 1% genealogy test that she's African, and these things make you more human to the people, you know what I mean? And they're like, they can actually relate to you. And they're like, oh, this guy's not just coming and interviewing always, it's always the same thing, question. No, it's you're getting people, you're bringing them into your life, you know what I mean? They're getting to know a little bit about you, and that's great. I think that's the best way to become that personality, that radio personality that everybody gravitates to. And you're doing a great job at it. You're obviously doing a great job. You're getting number ones, number twos.
Hey.
I don't know who got that number one that year, but
You know, I can't remember the name of it, but he's a radio veteran.
okay, right.
Yeah.
So let that slide. I thought you got swept. Somebody just came in and stole your number one, bro.
No, that was like the first year. But yeah, some radio veteran like for 20 years. I'm like, bruh, I just started.
And now, like, even what I want to ask about the CJLO, like being at the radio station and everything, is that like a pro bono thing? Do they give you money? How does that work? Let's say I see an article on the radio and they're like, hey, we need a radio host.
Yeah.
Should I go for this? Are they going to pay me or no?
It's volunteer.
It's volunteer. See, okay.
Volunteer.
I do it for volunteer still.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, look, that's what I've been learning in this industry. It's a lot of
Volunteering.
It's a lot of volunteering.
It's a lot of, look, you got to put in the sweat, the blood, sweat, and tears. Sometimes it's got to be for free. Majority of the time, it's going to be for free. And then that's going to open up the gateway one day, hopefully. It's like, oh, this guy, he's such a face that I see him everywhere. And then they're like, oh, you know what? We need Prince Rara for this. We need him for that. And maybe that's going to come with some financial compensation on the side.
Yeah.
But as long as you're having fun and you're like getting to experience the city, you're getting to link up with all these people, I think that's fulfilling enough too, you know?
For sure, yeah. And it's just a matter of time of like just doing it until it fucking happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think a lot of people are not willing to do it for free.
Yeah.
Which everyone's time is valuable.
Exactly. Yeah.
I totally agree. Just like I feel like my time's valuable, and what I do, I'm trying to do it the best I can. But a lot of people don't want to give up their time to do something in the hopes of their dream or something like that. I think it takes only very few people. It takes a lot to do it, and I think only very few people will actually take the time.
You got to be determined. Like the same, like this podcast. We're on the 50th episode now, I think around the 50th episode. But this thing, it got started. It became structured that once a week, like we're going to do an episode. You know what I mean? Things got paid for. There's lighting, there's a signage, there's paintings, you know what I mean?
There's a whole bunch of cash.
Cameras, there's cash, you know what I mean? So there is stuff being put behind it, and I feel like I don't care how much I put behind it, because I just want to see this thing blossom into being a part of the culture that people are going to be like, oh, so many people have been hitting up, I got to come on the podcast,
Sure.
And we have like a long list. With that long list, I'm like, for some reason, I saw that I was reading the Cultmtl thing, and I saw Prince Rara got number one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, I'm going to hit this guy up, get him on the show. I've seen you a couple of times, you know what I mean? And that's how I find it's normally for me when I bring guests. It's more like if I've met you and I've seen you before, and we got to talk like for a brief, short minute or something.
Yeah.
You're at the top of the list of who gets on the podcast, you know what I mean?
Nice.
As opposed to somebody that they're still very great at what they do, and they randomly hit me up. I feel like I have to show my alliance to the people that I've been seeing in the events, you know what I mean? So I'm like, we're bringing you on.
Hey.
We're going to big you up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You did get a number one in the city right now, so
Oh man,
congrats,
I appreciate
bro.
that. Yeah.
Welcome again.
Yo, yeah, of course. I'm just ready to take this cash. I mean, this is my payment for coming out here. That's for sure.
Yeah, you can take all of it. It's not worth anything. So, so now you're in the whole radio world. What do you see happening next for you? Like, what's in the plans for the future? Do you live day by day, or do you like have some plans that you have brewing?
To be honest, the Lord plans my days. Literally, like I'm moving by faith for me. That's my biggest thing. I've actually learnt that I need to do that because I feel like as I've mentioned, like I've tried to make things happen for me. And I feel spiritually, I cannot afford to allow myself to go through like a downward spiral. So I feel like me just being patient and literally giving my life to God, and whichever way my life's supposed to turn out, then that's literally what it's going to be. But I have to move in faith. So for me, when it comes to planning, he's the one that's planning my life. If there's like this opportunity come out, hanging out with you guys at the Hustle podcast, hey, that's for me. If that was part of his plan, well then, hey, that's why I'm here. Yeah. So I'm just enjoying that journey.
It's good. I think that's the way you should take it. Like, don't overthink things. Like, of course, you got to think things properly, and you got to think them out strategically. But as far as trying to make things happen right now, like you said, just let it go with the flow, man. Things are going to eventually fall into place. Like you said, you were randomly, you saw the CJLO posting and you contacted, you got it. You know what I mean? So I think it's that situation that you're just going about your day, and then something just comes in front of you and you're like, you know what? I'm going to jump for this.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to seize the moment. You know what I mean? So I think that's how everybody should be living their life. Yeah. As opposed to like getting stuck in that vicious cycle. You know what I mean? That hamster wheel of always trying to make it. So I think coming here did you really good. Because in Australia, you're probably losing your mind with all these auditions and everything. Yes. And you're like, when am I going to be famous? When am I going to... So you're here now.
Sad, huh? Is that sad to admit that?
Look, no, it's not. Because that's the generation... That's like the social media age that we're living in. And if you see... You just... Everywhere you turn, social media, Instagram, YouTube, just see all these guys that are like social media influencers. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be the influencer. Right. Once you're being influenced by all these people and you see, oh, this kid made $17 million selling gummy bears, or this kid's making millions of dollars playing Minecraft and he's posting videos, you're like, dude, if they're doing that, how come I can't be a VJ? You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's not sad because you're chasing your dream. The only thing is when you're putting too much... You're putting too much of yourself into that chase, you know what I mean? And you're not getting to enjoy life, and it's being clouded by that mentality of I'm not going to be happy until I make it.
Exactly.
So just be happy, you know? That's the most important thing.
Yeah. And stay consistent as well.
Stay consistent, yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
As soon as you lose that consistency, and like it reminded me when I used to own a restaurant. I used to own it with a few partners, and some days I would be responsible for opening it up. Some days this guy used to be responsible for opening it up. Okay. But then you have this lazy motherfucker that he's not going to open it up at 10 o'clock in the morning like he's supposed to. Yeah. So he'll open it at 1 p.m., 12 p.m. And you have people that walk by this place and they see it's closed. Yeah. It's closed on Wednesday to Thursday, like until 1 p.m. And then on Friday, it's open at 10. That's inconsistent. Yes. And as soon as I see that, I'm like, I don't want to go there.
Of course.
Or this guy is not serious. This restaurant's not serious. Yeah. And it's the same way in the profession that you're in right now. You know, be consistent. Exactly. If you're not consistent, people are not going to take you seriously. They're not gonna want to ingest the brand. You know what I mean? Yeah. For sure. Exactly. And they're going to forget about you too when 100%. You're not consistent. So yeah,
definitely. You know, it's something in terms of like consistency and all that kind of stuff. It's a little bit random, but one of the times I was in LA, I went to a Dr. Phil show. Okay. And I was in the audience, and literally they filmed 4 episodes in one sitting. Okay. And the way that they had cut and moved in like tables and backdrops it was like clockwork. It was just like in, out, and then they were like, okay, here's the script for this. He does it, finished, next episode done. He literally could just stand if he needs to stand. That's stand, and this is sit. So he had to like sit where he needs to sit. So it was like just the precision and the sheer dedication to that type of, is that art form? I'm not.
Yeah, look, it's a well-oiled machine that it's mechanical at that point.
Exactly.
Everything has to go as planned, and everything has to go in a flash, basically.
But it's a formula that's been working.
I'm pretty sure the first times that they did that show, maybe even the first season, they were just getting their formula right. And now when you're like, you've done how many seasons? 20, 30 seasons.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's like the snap of a finger.
Yeah.
You already know what you're doing. In, out, in, like you said, like just seeing that, getting to see that from the...
I was like, huh?
From the audience perspective,
Yeah.
like mind-blowing probably.
It was absolutely mind-blowing. And I don't even know if the audience could even pick that up. I think they were just like this.
Maybe they didn't care, they're just waiting for the next segment. But you're looking at the technical side of things. And you're like, dude, there's so much effort and everybody's putting in their, their blood, sweat, and tears to make this thing look proper. You know what I mean? You got the lighting guys, you got people moving the furniture.
Exactly.
You got, I don't know how many cameras are all over the place.
Yeah.
So...
in and fucking out. I thought that was amazing, and I feel like I want to be. I want to be like that. I want to be able to just not robotic and mechanical.
Look, that's, or like I said, at that point when you have mechanical is the wrong way to say it because it does link to the robotical side, but you want it to be that quick. You want it to be that well oiled, and it's becomes like second nature. When we first started doing this podcast, it would take us like about 30 minutes, an hour to properly set everything up.
Yep.
And now, okay, we already know how we're gonna do it. We already know where it's supposed to be in the middle.
Yeah.
Everything, this tilt, that tilt, everything. We have like a screenshot basically in our head, and we know how that's supposed to always look like.
Exactly.
And you've done it 50 times already.
Yeah.
So it just gets faster and faster and faster every time you do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And going back to being consistent, I feel like it makes it easier for you if you are well versed in what you're doing. But you can only do it if you're doing it a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're gonna forget after a while.
Exactly.
It's not like riding a bike.
It's not like riding a bike.
Yeah.
No.
And like it comes to, I remember when I was using a certain camera, and then I hadn't used that camera in forever. And then you decide you're going to do a shoot, and you decide, oh, you know what, I'm going to use this camera today. Yep. And then you're on the shoot, and you're like, I forgot where this setting is. I forgot where that is.
Yes.
Why? Because you haven't been using it.
Exactly.
So that's why you got to keep the brain moving, and you got to have a routine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's why it's important. Definitely.
Yeah. The scary part about it is that like the technology moves really fast.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But well, actually, no, that's not really the problem. The problem is whoever's lazy. But I mean, it's something. It's a challenge. You have to keep up to date. And even like the social media technology itself. Like how many times has TikTok changed? Like now you can't. There's no discovery as of like a few weeks ago, or maybe days. The discovery.
I have a TikTok. I don't even go on it.
Oh. You guys, this is not on TikTok?
There is the TikTok account, but our co-host Talia was supposed to be in charge of the TikTok account, but she never did anything for the TikTok account. Talia, you're not doing anything, they said. You're not even here. What the hell? I'm in charge of the Instagram. I'm the Instagram guy.
Oh, okay.
But TikTok's the way to go. That's what you're saying right now. Like,
yeah, I mean, but there's no discovery page. So that's what I'm saying, like that, how everything just changes so quickly that it's hard to keep up. But if you about that life, then you got to get into it.
Yeah, no, look, that's the whole thing that, like I was mentioning, social media and the internet. It gets so overwhelming because there's this place, there's that place, like I just signed up for Patreon. Like I'm still trying to figure out how to make that work and everything. You know what I mean? So I have all these things. If it wasn't for Michael too, like he's the one that told me how to get this on Spotify and Apple playlists and all that. Yeah. So before that, we were just on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then after I think around episode 10, we were on all the audio streaming platforms as well.
Yeah.
And slowly, man, I'm getting there. Soon TikTok. Soon I'm gonna be on TikTok, just doing little like boomerangs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, boomerangs not on TikTok.
I don't know.
Ooh,
I'll tag some instrumentals on like a 10-second video and the most popular song right now, and I'll become famous, right? That's how it works?
yeah.
Pretty something like that. I got that right. I know that formula.
Okay, if anyone knows a tip on TikTok, please let him know. Please let Steve know at the Hustle Podcast on how to work TikTok. And let him know that boomerangs are not on TikTok. I don't even know if they're on Instagram anymore.
I have no idea, man. I have no idea. I know they are on Instagram.
Really?
She did a boomerang the other day.
Oh, okay.
I remember somebody doing a boomerang on us. You mentioned LA.
Yeah.
How long did you go to LA for? Was it some like a small trip, or was it
I've been maybe 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
any crazy like bump into some celebrities out there? Any opportunities that almost came your way?
No opportunities that came our way, not at all. But I just saw that Wilmer Vanderelma. No, is that his name? The 70s.
Fez.
Fez. I saw Fez. Yeah.
Wilmer Valderrama
Wilmer Valderrama.
or Walderrama.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
It could be double W.
Double W.
Wilmer Valderrama.
Wilmer Valderrama.
This sounds so.
Well, that guy.
That guy, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just saw him walking around. I was like, oh my God. Like, 'cause this was.
Is he a nice guy? Was it because I have a feeling like, okay, we always see him in the 70s show. He looks like a nice guy, but I feel like in real life he'd be like a bit of an
Yeah, he's obnoxious.
obnoxious. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh, what the fuck? I was like, oh. And then he was just like, and then just carried on walking. Because I was like, oh, okay. I mean, maybe if I said hello, maybe he might say hi, but I didn't. I kind of pointed. I was like, ah.
Did you call him Fez?
No, I didn't even think of that. I was like trying to say the full name, like Wilder Rubber. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the only guy you saw in LA. What the hell is, bro? In LA, apparently you're supposed to be walking everywhere and you bump into so and so and so and so.
You been to LA?
No, but that's what I hear.
What?
I hear everywhere you go in LA, it's you bump into if you're on the strip, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Okay, but you're like, it's only a 5-hour plane ride. What?
soon, dude. I can't get on a plane yet. I've been grounded
Oh.
by the government.
Oh.
Yes,
Okay.
vaccinations.
Oh. Okay. I thought it was something.
That was on the list. That was one of the places I was gonna go. I'm more of a tropical destination guy,
Okay.
so
Gets tropical in LA?
it gets very smoggy in LA. I hear too. Very smoggy with a lot of bad traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, like, what did you do? What was your highlights there?
My well, okay, for me, when going there is just me pretending that I live there. So I was like, every time I've gone, I've driven a car, and I just pretend that I literally just drive around and just see what's up. Like, obviously, you got to see the normal sites, like the rich and famous houses and the neighborhoods and blah 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 blah. I didn't do anything that exciting, but every time I'm there, I'm like imagining myself living there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you just stalk celebrities' houses, saying,
Yeah.
"Yeah, this guy lives here." Just driving by like a creep, something like that.
I'm creeping around.
Creeping around
Los Angeles, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And the very last time it was like 2019, I think, and I made my way to Compton. I hadn't gone like to that side, so I was like, no, I want to go to Compton, see the cousins out there in Compton. So I went there to Compton, and it reminded me a lot of South Africa. Yeah. Like the style of houses and. People are hanging out at like in the front, listening to the music in the car. I was like, this is like normal to me. It was nice, yeah.
And you mentioned cousins. Why you have cousins in Compton?
No, I just mean.
So you mean cuz?
Yeah,
cuz.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Nothing popped off over there. I'd assume going to Compton and you're not from there, somebody would come G-check you. Like,
No.
where you from, cuz?
No. No one said nothing.
Did anybody even acknowledge you?
No.
And then after they heard the accent, they're like, "Yo, he's good. He's straight, homie. Don't worry."
Wouldn't that be worse?
I don't know. I think anywhere you go with that accent,
Yeah.
you get like a leeway card. Like, this guy's just too proper. He sounds like he sounds proper. You know what I mean? So you get that pass. Like,
Okay.
yeah, we're not gonna jump this guy. We're not gonna.
Like naive.
Maybe actually the only thing they'd be like, okay, this guy's an easy prey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they're just nice about it and they're like, dude, you got a good accent. You're out. You'll pass with that red hat. Don't worry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't even think it. I just was like, I just want to go to Compton, see what's up, and then see the Spiral thing. Like, you see like from the game, from one of his albums. I literally was just, I just want to go see what's up. I went and it seemed okay. It looked familiar. And then I drove through, what's that place? Also that girl, Megan, her family, Megan that married the prince. Her mum is from there. It's
Prince Harry, Meghan, right?
Yeah. Where is she from?
I forgot what her last name is, but she's
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle, yeah. She's but she's like a LA girl, right?
She's an LA girl, but her mum, I think her mum was from that one of the areas near South Central.
Okay.
Oh, but actually, you haven't been to LA, so you wouldn't know.
No. But I know she's rich and
yeah,
she's got money, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, but her mom.
Okay, what about her mom though?
Her mom is from that area.
Yeah, but her mom's probably rich too now.
Okay, her mom's rich now.
Yeah. She's originally from there. Everybody has their starts. That's the roots.
Yeah.
So you got to see that. I see you got a lot of ink, bro.
Yeah.
You got a lot of ink. You got something over here.
Yeah.
I don't want to say is that Africa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
See, as if I would have said it wrong, which I know that's Africa. Come on, it's just the outline that threw me off a bit. You know what I mean? Usually, I see we got the colors on them.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got that one. What else you got, bro? What do you have that has like some meaning to you? See, we got finger tats here too. We got...
Finger tats. Yeah, got the finger tats. Trying to be hard. But literally, is it sad to say they don't have a meaning?
No, it's not. You like them? You look good.
Yeah, at the time, yeah.
At the time?
At the time, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like 9 years ago or more. Actually, even more, yeah.
Okay,
10, 11 years
so you got these about 10 years ago?
Yeah. I drew some of them. I drew it, yeah.
Okay, so you do have a little, you drew it.
I mean, I just drew it.
Okay.
Yeah. And no meaning there.
No meaning. But look, at the end of the day, it's your art, right? So you did a little something. What do you mean you drew some of it? What did you draw?
I mean, like I drew like the pattern.
Okay.
I drew the pattern, and then the guy just stenciled it.
Okay, so that's your design. It's your own design, bro.
My own design.
Why not?
Yeah.
How about the finger tats?
The finger tats they're just symbols. They actually mean nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Symbols of what?
It's just.
You're like, I don't even know.
Yeah, squiggles.
Squiggles?
Yeah.
We're gonna cut that out of there. With squiggles, just squiggles.
Wow, I'm really naive. I'm so sorry.
Now we're in the city, dude. We're gonna step away from the tattoo talk for a second.
Okay.
You're in the city. You're what's it called? You're hitting the streets. You're going to the shows. Are you like that into what genre are you like mostly into right now that you're like really covering? And
in terms of like music or
both, in terms of music that you actually listen to,
okay,
and in terms of people that come on your platform and people that you're promoting, like having interviews with.
Okay.
What's the demographic for that?
Okay. I'm definitely into like hip hop, Afro beats. That's my genres.
Okay.
Or in saying that though, I do love house music, preferably deep house, and UK garage. Even some early future bass, and future beats, which is like stemming from like R&B and hip hop mixed together. That's like your Kate Renata, that kind of stuff, and Soul Lection and all that kind of stuff. I think I cater to sort of that sort of demographic. I think that's a little bit older. I think that's like your mid 30s, your late 20s. I think that's who those type of people are, and I think that that's what I've been playing on the show. Pretty much. So
city wise, do you got like a top 5? You got some artists that the top 10, like globally, like who are your favorites right now?
Okay, city wise, like in like Montreal. Or?
Yeah, I'd say Montreal.
Okay, Montreal people. Okay. I got to say, I find it hard
Yeah, and it's not to snub anybody, because at the end of the day, there's so many people out there. Maybe you haven't come across everybody yet, and maybe there's just a certain amount of people that you heard them first. You're listening to them a lot.
Yeah.
So nobody take this the wrong way.
Yeah. This is allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like David Campana.
Dave Campana, he has that voice, man.
Lovely voice.
That voice, like it's all in French. The stuff he does, right?
It's all in French.
I don't know what he's saying because I don't know. My French is terrible.
Okay.
But I hear that the way he's like he hits that high note.
Yeah.
It's like a Montreal French Michael Jackson sometimes.
Yo, yeah, and he loves Michael Jackson. I've had David Campana on the show twice, and he's a tall guy too. He's massive.
I've seen him in real life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tall guy.
And he's even got a deep voice as well.
That I wouldn't know.
Yeah, really like things are trembling, but like, he's like very, when he's
ready to tap into that vocal range.
He's tapping in.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Shouts out to him. Also, I actually really like. Okay, I'm really bad. Okay, this is really bad for what I do, but I should remember names. Okay, there's a guy. I know he's Italian Quebecois, and fuck, I really should know.
Is his name Adamo?
No,
because there's an Adamo that's Italian Quebecois, I think.
Oh, okay. No, this guy he's like a short guy. Maybe he's got blue eyes, and he's what song? Okay. One of his albums had a green Land Rover, like an old school green Land Rover. And he was in the front of that that apartment building that's got those weird squares like on the
Habitat 60 something 67 I think,
something like that. Yeah,
it's the one. I don't know who that artist is though. No, so I think we'd have to like Google it at a later date and find out, because you're gonna be stuck on it like the last thing.
Well, we still haven't figured the other thing. Shit.
If you find out and you let me know, we'll put in like some bubble during the interview when it's on.
We have to figure it out.
It's just gonna pop up.
It's gonna pop up.
We're gonna pop up that picture of the album.
Yes.
Find out. Okay, so that's 2. We got 2.
That's 2. Okay. Yo, if I can. Oh fuck. Okay, that's 2. Oh my god.
Now like this other guy, he's got braids, wears dark glasses. It's like a police report right now. This the guy that robbed me. He was in a green car.
Oh my god. Yes. Oh, okay. Okay. I love Prince Min as well.
Prince Min,
yeah. Prince Min's amazing. He's an amazing performer, as well. He's like the Chris Brown of. One of my friends had said that. He's like the Chris Brown of Montreal, and I really believe that. Yeah, he's amazing.
I'm pretty sure I've heard him.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Did he used to go by another name before, or it's always been Prince Amin?
No, it's always been
okay.
Prince
So
Amin, yeah.
I think I heard something recently, because I think he's like he's been popping in the scene lately.
Yeah.
So I've seen some new singles being put out, or a new single or something like that. Video. Yeah. So I'm definitely seeing him. I'm just not putting 2 and 2 together.
For sure.
I'll find them out. I'm gonna YouTube them. I'm gonna start checking them out.
Yeah, for sure. My third guy would be.
That was your third guy.
That was my third guy?
You said Dave, then you said the guy in the green car.
Oh, my fourth guy.
Your fourth guy.
My fourth guy, okay. My fourth guy would be KNLO. Is that how you said it?
KNLO.
Yeah.
Wait, let me just check something right now.
Okay.
I think he goes by KNLMNOP on Instagram. He's an old school rapper. He's been around a while. I think so. KNLO?
Yeah. I don't know if it's a bit.
No, there's another guy named KNLO. That's why.
Okay. Can I look?
It's probably him, right?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, that's not the same guy that I was thinking about.
No,
it's another guy. He's been in the game for a long time.
Okay.
My tattoo artist actually knows him too.
Okay.
I could be getting the initials wrong.
Okay.
But he also has a name with just initials.
Is that right?
So it could be the same artist. I don't know. Could be wrong.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Moving on. So you gave us 4. Was that 4 or 5 right now?
Okay, that was 4.
Oh, that was 4.
Yeah, that was 4. Okay, I'm gonna just say I'm gonna say Nate Husser.
Nate Huss, yes. Nate Huss, man. I saw this recent performance at Metro. I saw the highlights.
Went off.
Holy shit. This guy was fucking... When he went off. You got everybody in the front row. Like, they know all the lyrics and shit.
Yeah.
I think thousands of likes on Instagram on that one post.
Yeah.
He went out full, like, branded. EW. Everyone's a weirdo.
Yep.
And not to even, like... Because I've been seeing a lot of Nate for the past year or like a year or two. And it's just because I fell out of the music scene. It's like I was listening to so much other type of music.
Okay.
So I just didn't know who was making the music, who was bumping so hard. And I think the first time I started I heard about Nate Huss, like literally paid attention to him was when Jake Paul had knocked out
that
fighter and they were playing they were playing his song in the locker room.
Yeah.
So I heard that, I'm like, oh,
That's massive.
Massive moves.
Yeah.
So Nate Huss definitely up there. Yeah. And I keep like forgetting to mention him whenever I have these talks about great artists in the city.
Yeah.
It's just because I feel like he's like so above like being boxed into that city talk. You know what I mean?
For sure.
He's just a matter of time before this guy he gets that deal or he's gonna be making all these moves. He's been making moves in LA.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a matter of time before you see him permanently out there doing his fucking thing.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen for sure. And wait, I have to add a 6th person in there. I cannot believe I missed out the 6th person, which is actually the first person.
Okay.
It's got to be Cultmtl.
Cultmtl, man. Yeah.
How can I forget?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's everybody. Like I have so many friends like from all walks of life and everything. And when it comes down to Cultmtl, everybody has the same amount of respect for what he's done for the city.
Yeah.
The what's it called? The vibes that he brings. You know what I mean? It just brings you all together.
Yeah.
And it just literally like sucks you in, bro. You close your eyes and you listen to the rhythm.
Yeah.
You're in another planet sometimes. So definitely I like that number 1 spot over there.
For sure.
And he's been getting Grammys. How many Grammys did this guy win already?
I don't know.
I think 1, 2. I don't know. Definitely won 1.
Yeah.
I know he's won a Grammy.
Yeah.
But that's such a big achievement.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's able to he put on for the city and for the community.
Yeah.
Not the hip hop community, for the community, you know what I mean? Like this guy, he went out there and he made a mark. He made his mark.
Sure. And he's worldwide.
Yeah, he's worldwide.
Literally worldwide, yeah. South Africans love Cultmtl. They actually love Cultmtl. But you know what? There is actually a lot of Montreal artists that I haven't mentioned that are absolutely amazing. But they come from that kind of genre of like future beat, which is like Selection. Do you listen to Selection?
No.
Oh, okay. Like, you know Joey K?
No.
Okay.
I'll check in on that.
Check in on that. Yeah.
Joey K.
Yeah. I mean, like, Cultmtl is like very, very like tight with that crew.
Look, a lot of the music that I do listen to, majority of the time, it's like I don't even know what I'm listening to. You know what I mean? It's gonna come on the playlist. Let's say I listen to a Cultmtl and then a suggested song next on YouTube.
Okay.
So sometimes like you totally get lost into what's playing. Okay. So you don't know. Maybe I did listen to Joey K. Maybe I'm gonna hear the song and be like, oh, that's Joey K. I've heard Joey K before.
Yeah.
So I find myself doing that a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these songs that like I just didn't take the time to look at what the title is or who's singing it. But then after I hear it afterwards, and it clicks right away.
For sure. Okay, but what are you listening to?
I listen to so much random shit. Like right now I'm a Chet Faker.
Okay.
I listen to Empire of the Sun.
Okay.
I'm listening to a lot of Bad Bunny right now too.
Bad Bunny?
Yeah, Bad Bunny. The new album just came out. I like, dude, I'm telling you, you can listen to the whole thing.
Okay.
And you're on the beach, even if you're not on the beach. You know what I mean? That's how it's my summer vibe right now. It just came out last week, I think.
I heard. Yeah.
But besides that, it's let me look at my playlist.
Please,
you're gonna be
ahead.
like, you're like, dude, it's very diverse, very diverse.
Yeah, I'm more worried.
I'm more worried. What we got? We got open. I got.
Very intrigued. You only use the Spotify platform to listen to music?
No, I listen music on YouTube. Oliver Tree. Oliver Tree. You ever listen to Oliver Tree?
Oliver Tree.
Yeah. Very unique dude. Check him out, Oliver Tree. Okay. I've been listening to him. When it comes to Afrobeat, I've been listening to, what's that one that's really big? CK, Lil CK, Love Nwantiti.
Okay.
That one was like stuck in the brain for a while.
Okay.
Pana, Techno, that song, the artist Techno. Great Afrobeat.
Okay.
Yeah. Who else we got? A lot of merengue and salsa. Hector, we got Hector Lavoe. We got Hector Lavoe on the
Hector Lavoe on the beat.
Manuel Medrano.
Okay.
So, bro, it's just very diverse here. We just,
it is.
Yeah.
That's good.
I just love what sounds good. You know what I mean?
For sure. Do you listen to? Sorry to cut you off, but do you listen to? Do you use SoundCloud?
No, I used to use SoundCloud. But that's like, I found like when I wanted to discover new guys, like it's totally off the mainstream platforms, which SoundCloud is. Back then, it wasn't as huge. Yeah. But that's where I discovered like so many of these artists today that were popping off, like Lil Pump. First time I ever heard Lil Pump, SoundCloud. Yeah. And Mac Miller too. Mac Miller, SoundCloud. So that's... I found like after a certain period, I just stopped going onto SoundCloud to discover. Yeah. And it could be because of my shift in music and the fact that I just, maybe at that point, I'm like, I don't want to listen to hip hop anymore. Yeah. I just want to listen to some salsa or some shit. I don't know.
Sure, for sure. Oh, and merengue.
Merengue, exactly. But I like to move, bro. That's it.
For sure. Yeah. No. I mean, why not? I mean, I think, yeah, well, I mean.
But my new thing now is like, I'm listening to a lot of, I try to listen to as much local stuff as possible.
Oh, yeah?
I try to listen to as much local stuff just to see so I can tap in, you know what I mean? Tap in and see who's what. And I find myself getting surprised day in and day out by the type of music that's getting produced in this city. Yeah. The type of songs that are coming out. And I know when I was rapping, because I used to rap.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I used to rap back in the day, there was nothing that touched me like that. You know what I mean? Okay. I wasn't listening to anything. Shout out, like, rest in peace to Bad News Brown. Bad News Brown was like the only artist that I could like say that I felt a vibe. Like I felt something listening to his track. Why? Because he sucked you in with that harmonica. You know what I mean? Okay. And when it came to rapping, I guess maybe it could have been a biased thing too. It's like everybody thinks they're the best rapper, and maybe you don't want to listen to other rappers because it's like a competition thing. Yeah. And now that I'm not in that field or anything like that, I find myself appreciating the music even more. And you see the what's it called? The videos that everybody are putting out now. These visuals are next level. There's so much budget. Like people are actually taking their craft super serious nowadays. As opposed to when I was like coming up, there was a lot of a handful of heavy hitters that were doing it on a constant daily, like posting out videos, great tracks. Yeah. But I found it's just like they weren't doing it super consistent like these guys are today. Right. Like King K, for example. King K, like he put out the Dope Boy Diaries. He put out visuals back to back. I think it's like one a month. And that's a good strategy. As soon as you start putting out that one a month, I'm not going to forget about you. Right. Like do that 1 year consistently. Yeah. You're going to be in the back of the brain somewhere. You know what I mean? If you're just going to randomly come out with one song, and then I'm not going to hear about it for 2 years or something. Yeah. That's where you lose me.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Because someone new is going to come in really, really quick and fill that spot. Yeah.
There's so many people right now. So many people.
Exactly.
I just can't wait to see what happens.
In hip hop?
And I can't wait to see what happens for the city next. Like, who's going to be that torch bearer? Who's going to be the one that says, like, dude, like, MTL, we made it.
But how come we can't say that for Keitra?
We can. We say it for Keitra, but we don't say it in the hip hop sense, right? Because he's not a hip hop artist. He's electro beats and all these great sounds. So that's what we're just waiting for. The hip hop scene is for somebody to be the Drake of Montreal, basically, or somebody to really try to put on at that level. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm just waiting. I think Nate could be that guy, dude. He's young. He's super young. There's Nate. There's a lot of other good artists that I'm not thinking of right now. Yeah. I want to shade anybody. There's like Zach Zoya. Zach Zoya
Oh,
is
yeah,
fucking killing
yeah,
it, bro.
yeah.
One of my favorites right now too.
Yeah.
When I see the what's her name, Cardine, Charlotte Cardine or Cardin, Charlotte. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but
Yeah, I can't pronounce it either.
the show he just did with her.
Yeah, it looked wicked.
Look, I think he opened up
in
for
New
her.
York?
They did the Montreal show.
Okay.
They did. I think they did the New York show,
Yeah.
and I think he's doing a few more with her.
Okay.
I know there was a Quebec City show that was right before Montreal, so I'm pretty sure he did that one too.
Okay.
And he has that star power. When I see people like they look a little out the box, with the hairstyle, with the clothing style, and everything like that, I'm like, this guy, he's destined to be that type of artist.
For sure.
So I'm seeing him up next too, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a tie between the two.
Well, they're also they're also
Very
different type of
different.
very different, but they're both very fucking dope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's wicked that Montreal has got that though. There's options.
yeah. There's options.
There's options, yeah. But I would really have loved to prepare the few people that I actually listen to and have said their names, because they in my SoundCloud, like they SoundCloud people, not rappers, but more that
Shout them out. Throw them out. Say
but I don't know their name. I can't remember their names.
So look, he's gonna look at his SoundCloud after, and he's gonna give you a shout out in the comments. He's like, special shout out to these guys.
Yeah, I have to.
Special shout out
because they're amazing, and I listen to them. Yeah.
Look, I think we've been going at it for quite a while. We had a really good talk.
Yeah.
I got to know a lot about you. I got to know about the South Africa stories. Got to know about the chasing fame in Australia, the VJ life, so many things. You got to join us on this beautiful table over here.
For sure. This is
what we usually do at this point. I don't know if you've gotten that deep into an episode.
Okay.
But you pick up that gem over there, bro. You hold it in your hand.
Okay.
Pick it up, hold it in your hand, and you're gonna give some piece of advice to the people out there.
Okay.
If somebody wants to be, there has to be something that you can share with them, whether it be for being a radio host, whether it be for chasing your dreams, whether it be for don't take things for granted.
Yeah.
What do you think is the most important thing, most important piece of knowledge you should leave this person with, or the masses out there?
Okay, but before I do that, has anyone that's held this gotten bad luck?
I don't think so.
No?
No. Everybody's alive.
Everyone's alive?
Nobody's dead.
Are they doing well?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody's good. Everybody's good. I keep tabs on everybody posting. So if I see people posting and I see stuff coming out, that means you're doing good and you didn't get cursed by the gem.
Okay, I'm going to do it.
Do it.
Okay. Do I have to start off in a certain way, or like...
You can get all cryptic if you want, bro. You can get cryptic. You can just hold it out there. You can look at it all creepily and stuff. Whatever you want to do. Whatever comes natural.
Okay. Crystal ball. No. Look, guys, when it comes to your dreams and what you want to do in life, no matter what steps in your way, you have to go and do it by any means. Hopefully not dodgy, but by any means, chase your dreams until if you feel like a gnawing feeling in your stomach or your chest, that you've really, that there's something out there that you need to do and you haven't yet done it, then that is something telling you that you need to go out and do it. So take that opportunity and give it your best shot. That's it.
Wise words from Prince Rara. Where can people find the show? Where can people find you on Instagram? All that good stuff.
Yeah, look, you can find you can go over to Know the Culture on I was going to say on CJLO. Well, you can do that on CJLO, but on Instagram and also on OAR TV. You'll see all the Know the Culture videos on there. And also, the show is on Wednesdays at 12 p.m. It's every second. Comes out twice
a month.
Yeah. And I'm excited for what we have in the future. Very excited for what's going on at Know the Culture, and even for myself as a VJ, as Prince Rara. You can also follow me at Prince_Rara. I have a lot going on. Yesterday I was just at Metro. Interviewed a whole bunch of people. Metro with Rising Star. Shout out to Rising Star. They're amazing. They're doing big things.
They got a show on the 5th, I think. The Rising Connect.
Rising Connect is
June 5th.
June 25th.
June 25th.
June 25th is
messed that up.
Yeah. June 25th. Rising Connect is coming up. Rising Connect is an amazing event for like-minded people to come together, creatives to come into one awesome creative space, and you can share ideas. You can chat about what you've got going on. It's really it's like top notch stuff.
No.
There's the last one we had a few people from Occupation Dubbed. And they were there and they showed out. There's Akari. He was actually one of the contestants on Occupation Dubbed, and he DJ'd, so it was amazing. So we're doing it technical. There's a whole like little technology futuristic thing going on. It's so exciting. I can't wait. But Rising Star, absolutely amazing. I had a wicked day yesterday. You can check them out on Rising Star Media on Instagram too. You can check out what they got going on. But it's a lot is happening. But before I go, I have to say a major shout out to Honor Roll Records. They are really truly amazing. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to do a lot of things that I've come to been doing, and learning new ways on how to navigate through stuff. So major shout out to them.
Definitely shout out to Honor Roll Records. They've been here a few times already, and we're gonna keep having more of their artists on the show
for sure. So
know where to find Prince Rara. Check out the show every second Wednesday, and don't miss out. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Hustle Podcast. We out.
The Hustle. My name is Steve Aramopoulos, and these are my co-hosts. I'm Talia. And I'm Tech Luciano. You may have heard me on radio. You may have never heard of me at all, but that's okay.
Y'all gon' learn today. Your whole life was a struggle, had to make it out the jungle. This is a show for you. Welcome to the hustle. Under pressure, never break a fold. Keep chasing your goals until you blow. Now, welcome to the hustle. Take money, make money, build a future forever. Even in stormy weather, we execute for treasure. The grind is real, got the willpower. Terrence Howard, hustle and flow. Rain, sleep, or snow. The odds against me for sure. I kick down them doors when they close. A sharp shooter of motivation that leave bullet holes. We're in the zone, get focused, zone. Stay on your toes. Hustle, welcome to the show. If your whole life was a struggle, had to make it out the jungle. This is a show for you. Welcome to the hustle. Turn nothing into something.